Yo, me style them belle, belle. Me I'm a star up in tell her, oh, tell her, belle. Me say me belle, belle. Yo, me style.
Hi, my name is Johanna. I'm a dancehall dancer from Sweden.
How long have you been dancing?
I've been dancing for 10 years.
You have quite a massive following on Instagram. How did that come to be?
So my first viral video was a few years ago. I was dancing to a QQ song, doing head top and shaking my butt, and that got a lot of reaction and the video went viral. So that time I went to 10,000 followers from 5,000 over one night. And so that was my first viral video. But then it kept growing. It kept growing regularly, but when I was pregnant dancing, that's when I got like the big massive chunk of followers coming. And then it was like it went from something like 20,000 to 60,000 in a couple days, and then a couple days after when I checked it was 90,000. And then I thought something was wrong with the numbers around Instagram, so it just felt really strange. And then when I had my baby, I had around 200,000 followers, and that stayed the same now for almost 2 years.
What do you think it was about seeing you as a pregnant woman dancing that really resonated with that audience?
Most of the people, okay, so the way Instagram works is that they will show videos to people that they think is relevant for those people. So most of the people who came to my page were pregnant women. So almost all of my followers now have babies in the same age as my son. So, which I find very interesting, and also what's so nice about social media, that you can find things that relate to you and to your life. So it's definitely pregnant women, but also specifically if it's pregnant women who have something to do with dancehall culture or Jamaica. So most of them are Jamaican women who live in other countries and have babies, and they're like, oh, here's another woman pregnant and she's dancing to my music from my home country, and then they find that really fascinating.
How has motherhood affected you as a dancehall dancer? Maybe you can talk about how your attitudes before being a mother as opposed to now.
So I'm a type of person who don't plan stuff. Like, I just go with the flow, and I never thought that having a baby had to change the way I dance or what I do. It was when I got reactions that I realized, oh, some people think that you can't mix doing dancehall dancing with having a baby, but I never thought that way. And I was more just interested to see like what would happen when I have a child. In some ways it's easier for me because I don't have a daily job that I go to. Like my job is dancehall dancing, and it's very like I don't have to be at a certain place at a certain time, and most of the time I can also bring my baby, which makes it easier for me than if I would have a regular job. But something that changed though is my body and the way I relate to my body, and then also where my attention is. So it's harder for me to focus on the dancing, and I'm not as fascinated and interested anymore because my focus have shifted towards my baby. So I get easily interrupted. It's hard for me to concentrate and like follow a dance class, and especially if my baby's there, he will make me lose focus on the dancing, and I will focus more on him. But at the same time, I really do try to, when I do dance, I try to focus on dancing, and I also try to tell people who, if they take class with me, sometimes I will have my son there, and I will tell them, don't try not to pay him attention, because I want him to be used to that. When we dance, and then he just have to wait for his attention, and when the dance class is over, then he gets his attention. And I think it works pretty well. As long as I know that he's not hungry or anything like that, then I know he's fine, then it works. But also, my body feels different. Sometimes I don't feel the dancing like I did before, and it's like I have to force it a little bit more, and sometimes I even have to fake it before I get into that feeling. But something also changed is my memory, and they say that they call it pregnancy brain, but it stayed with me after pregnancy also, that I can't remember anything. So I can't remember new steps, I can't remember choreography. Even if I learn something and I do it, if I try to do it 1 hour later, I will not remember even the first part. So, and before I used to have a really good memory, I used to catch on really quick, learn new stuff quick. So yeah, that has changed.
Is there anything that you have to reconcile in your mind in regards to the type of dancing you do with dancehall and being a mother, or has that been quite easy for you?
For me, I don't have a problem. I don't have a problem with the way I dance because it's so normal. So to me, it have nothing to do with sex. So I will. For some people, they find it's strange, but I will whine and shake my butt in with my son there as well. Like he's there when I teach class, and I do booty and hip technique. It's just dancing. So I really don't have a problem. And I used to also before, like if I have little cousins who would run around, and I have one young cousin who used to film my videos from when he was like 7 years old, and it's just not something like sexual like that for me. It's just dancing. So some problems though, like when we go to Hellshire Beach on Sundays, and I bring my son after the beach, it turned into a beach party, and and then we already have my son there because we're there from the day. And that's when I feel like, okay, should my son be here or not? Should I go home with him? Should he stay? And because for me, it's like there's nothing there that is bad for him in my view. But then it's more like I think maybe people will think that it's not appropriate to have a child here, because I don't think it's appropriate to bring a child to a street dance, for example. So I wouldn't do that. But when it comes to my style of dancing, no, I haven't changed, and I don't think I need to change it because I have a son.
Has there been any other like conflicts that have come up that you maybe wouldn't have expected, that but are you surprised that you maybe feel a little bit differently about now?
It's the fact that I danced pregnant. Like I had no idea that people actually thought that I shouldn't dance when I was pregnant. That was surprising. I did think that they might have a problem with me dancing certain types of dancing or going out to party, but that they actually had a problem with me moving my body because I was pregnant. That was a real surprise. But it haven't changed my view of what is good for me or what I should and shouldn't do.
How are you enjoying motherhood and dancehall?
It's nice. And one thing is that I get a different respect from people after having a baby. And it's like, in some ways, like I'm off the market, so I don't have to deal with all the men trying to get at me and trying to flirt with me. So I just feel like people give me a different type of respect, and I like that.